Welcome to another episode of One of Us Knows What They're Talking About, and the other one is you. I'm Lori Burch, your host. Join us as we discuss and unpack wills, trusts, estate planning, and probate law in a way that's actually informative, interesting, and, well, hopefully entertaining. Because if you don't have a will, the state of Texas has one for you. Let's dive in. So today we're going to talk about end of life resources and information to leave behind, because I know it's exciting. Sarah, calm down, will you? It's important that you have the plan in place, will, trust, powers of attorney, the estate plan. We talk about that all the time, actually. But that really isn't the whole story there, because one thing that we pose to our clients, because we really like asking the tough questions, is if you died today, would your family know where to start and know what to do? And you're not going to be able to fool us, because we know after 20 plus years of doing this that the answer is no, even with the best estate plan. And in fact, we developed something a couple years ago, trademarked the CYA plan, the Cover Your Assets plan. Giggle. The CYA plan that we offer to our clients as a supplemental resource for once they have their plan in place to really get these other pieces together. And there's a lot more to our CYA plan. Go to thecyaplan.com. Go to coveryourassets.com. Oh, no. Coveryourassets.com. CYA Law, CYA Lawyers. Go to all of those. You're going to go to the exact same place. But there's more information on what all the different things that we include with this plan. But one of the biggest things that we try to do is help answer that question. And that is, where do people start? What do they do? And a lot of that has to do with being able to access bank accounts, being able to get into your house. Do you have a pet or plants, things that are living that someone would need to get to? Where do you keep the documents? Where do they even know? Do you even know that you have this? If you have funeral arrangements, do they know where that is? So a lot of it has to do with that. So one of the things that we offer, it's actually a free tool. You can go to our website and find the CYA organizer. That is Cover Your, what is it, Sarah?
Assets
organizer. And anybody, I was going to say in the world, but our IT company or our website hosting company has that on lockdown. So you're going to have to be in the United States to be able to get this free tool. I think I did ask about Canada, but I don't know. For our Canadian friends out there, let us know. But if you go to our website, you can go to our resources page, and this is something you can find. You don't have to be a client of Burch Law. But let me go through some of the information that we think is critical for people to know. One is, where do you keep your legal documents? Your wills, your trusts, your powers of attorney. Now, you're going to have to decide what you want to do for yourselves. But what we generally recommend is that you do keep them at home in lieu of a fireproof safe, or I'm sorry, in lieu of a safety deposit box, because those get frozen. They're only accessible during bank hours. We had an instance during COVID where somebody couldn't even get to a will because the bank was just shut down indefinitely. So we don't think that's the best place, but if you insist on doing that, then you need to make sure that you have made the proper arrangements with that financial institution for other people to access it in case of emergency or your death. That doesn't take care of the emergency bank problem, emergency access problem because of bank hours. But if you insist on doing that, but in general, we recommend keeping them at home, preferably in a fireproof safe. If you're a very esteemed client of Burch Law, you may even get one of our fireproof containers that we give to deserving clients. But yes, it's, sometimes that you will find documents, people will put them in their refrigerator, like their freezer.
Yeah.
Have you all heard of this before?
Yeah. Yes.
Sam, you have? Why do you think, Sam, people would put them in a refrigerator? Is it to keep them fresh?
Yeah, yes. So they can have them as a snack later. No,
What? Really, a snack?
Anyway, they put them in the freezer because it's technically like fireproof. Like if there's a fire, your freezer's
It's a heavily insulated vessel.
Yeah, yeah. So that's not so bad. But the point is to make sure that you've made people aware. Speaking of Sam and speaking of end of life things, another thing we'd like to tell people is that if somebody has died, you can no longer use their credit card.
Oh.
Right, Sam? Did we just go through that?
Yeah, we did.
Can you explain to us, Sam, why? Why is that?
Because it's fraud.
It's fraud. So if you, are you able to look into our Ring Central channel? I don't even know. Are you on your computer? You must be, because the camera's working. So I want you to read for us the statement that I sent to you that says the problem here. And then I want you to read the ChatGPT statement of how we should communicate it to clients. Can you share that?
Yeah. So credit cards of the deceased are no longer valid. They cannot be used under any circumstances, even for funerals and final expenses. Transactions on these cards can result in fraud. Even if you're an authorized user or had permission to use a card before the card member passed away, do not use them to make purchases.
Yes. Wow. Great advice. Great advice. So Sam, then what I would like you to do is I put into, because you're like, what should I tell this person? That was really fun. Thank you for letting me go through that exercise
I was
with
so
you.
Panicked.
I know. I felt the panic.
I thought I was so wrong. I was like, am I wrong? I don't know if I'm using the right words. Like, is it fraud? Is it not? Like, it was a whole thing.
So you asked me, how should you communicate this to the potential client? And so I provided you a ChatGPT answer. And what is that? Read it now. Don't do the Sam thing where you like rush through it.
Okay.
Enunciate and take your time with this.
Okay.
It's her accent.
I just talk fast.
Whoa.
Hey there. So, about using your late mother's credit card, ... As much as we'd love to make our transactions feel like a scene out of a ghost movie, unfortunately, our system isn't set up to handle payments from the beyond. You know, something about laws and fraud and doing the right thing, ... Bummer, right? Anyway, we're here to help you find a more legally friendly payment option. Let us know what works for you.
We're not really sending that to a client, right?
Absolutely not.
Listen, with sometimes Lori, I can't tell.
This is the cathartic version. It comes out on the podcast because this is where we say all the things. But yes, so everybody, in case you didn't know, now you know. Another thing that you should make sure that you're making aware of, and this is somewhat based on my own experience, but I think that you need to factor in like how you run your household. But alarm codes or passcodes, smartphone passcodes, passwords, whatever it is, your computer passwords, login screens, any sort of gate codes, lock codes, garage codes. Like we've got 2 different padlocks because we have 2 different gates into our home. Putting that down, those combinations, like anything else that would impede access to your home, like those are things that we need to make sure that are available. And I alluded to the pets and plants care a little bit more about the former, not so much about the latter, but sometimes people will be picking executors or trustees that aren't local or are out of state even, and that's totally fine. FYI, there's something we haven't really talked about. However, we do recommend that you have a local neighbor or friend that at least has access to your home so there can be some emergency response for if there is something particularly securing an animal. Maybe this is just me. Do I have a dead plant behind me? I even have a dead plant behind me. So don't feel as strongly about that. People feel differently. I do feel very strongly about pets, though, and we want to keep them alive.
I'll come rescue Memphis and the others too.
Another thing that really hits people hard, if anybody is listening that has experienced the loss of somebody, is when you're having to give information for a death certificate, even at the funeral home, any given day, I could tell you my loved one's birth dates, this, that, and the other, but I'm telling you, you just space out and you forget everything in that moment. So by documenting that, which is what our CYA organizer does, is the full name, how long have you lived in your state? How long have you lived in Texas? Where were you born? What is your citizenship? Mother's name, father's maiden name, if there's any military service, your occupation, even biographical information for you. These are all things that would be very helpful. Something we did at Burch Law, now this isn't part of the CYA organizer, which I think it's time to do it again, is I had everybody write their own obituaries. And the point of that wasn't so much to have that ready to go, but it really is an interesting, kind of a different way to do goal setting and kind of take stock of where you've been and what you'd like to be said about you from a legacy standpoint. But the more that you put that in, any sort of funeral, burial arrangements, cremation, any of those wishes, if you've made any of those arrangements, people to contact, oh my gosh, that's such a horrible thing to have to do when somebody's passed away, is there's so many people that you need to notify. I don't think sending text messages or blasting out on social media is like the best way to do it for people who are close to that person. So if you can put together a list, and I can speak very personally to this because we're very close to a significant anniversary for the loss of my stepdad, and splitting that up. You're going to contact this set of people, you're going to contact this set of people. So the more you can put that in, the better. Where you went to school, any sort of alumni associations. Is that like the critical, like we got to wind up the business of someone's estate? No, but this is part of who you were. This is part of who you are. This is your story. And we want to make sure that people are made aware of that. For people who might need to know, especially if they're an emergency contact, but not your main person, like who is your executor? Who is your trustee? Who's your accountant, your financial planner? Who's your lawyer? All that information should really be documented. Where do you have your insurance through? Oh my gosh, streaming services. All the different things that you're going to have to call and cancel and cell phone and all of those things are really important to know. And the more you can have it spelled out and just easy access to the information, the easier it's going to be. Another big thing that we talk about is we've talked about this, I believe, in a previous episode, what's called digital assets. So, online accounts, all of that. As much as we can assign people the rights through powers of attorney and trusts and wills to have access. Did you all go to Dutch Bros today?
I went before work.
I went during lunch.
And she didn't offer me anything.
I'm seeing you all drink Dutch Bros, and I don't know why you do this on days that I work from home. Because when I'm in the office, half the time I offer to pay for all of it when you're making those kind of runs. So that's fine. You keep flaunting. Oh, not a sponsor. You keep flaunting that.
We can go next week when Sarah's gone.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, dang, Sam.
Wow. Sam.
Let's wait.
Dutch Bros.
In the week after.
It's okay, Sam.
Because then we can do this.
Listen, hold on. Sarah's house will be inhabited and properly fortified. Sam?
No. None of us know the relevancy of that by our faces. But I want to know all of Sarah's favorite places, and that is where we're going to go next week.
We just take a trip everywhere.
Okay, Potbelly, Cane's, Dutch Bros.
Not
what
sponsors.
Else do you have a cutesy name for? I'm trying to remember. Yeah. Sarah does love Potbelly Sammy.
Wait a minute, Sarah. Do you like hamburgers?
It's across our place.
Yeah.
You like hamburgers? Next week should be the day that I finally have us go to Dell's Hamburgers, this really awesome hole in the wall greasy hamburger spot in Richardson. Ooh. What else can we do to punish Sarah?
I think pizza is my favorite food. I could eat that every day.
What do you have like a favorite kind? Do you like Chicago pizza?
I love Chicago pizza.
Okay, so we're gonna order Chicago pizza. We're gonna do that. We'll do that Tuesday because we'll let Jordan get in on the action.
Yeah,
her mortal enemy.
and it's your mortal enemy. And Sarah, don't worry, we will take pictures of all of this and text it to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, so usernames, passwords, it's still really good to document that, because even though we can put in there that you have your executor, trustee, power of attorney, agent has control over digital assets, trust me, you are going to confuse people. Cynthia in a moment is going to talk about more social media and other online options or digital asset type things. But just to make sure we get through this, also really putting together a spreadsheet of what accounts you have, where do you bank, bank account numbers, if you have a personal banker, which, okay, Mr. Rockefeller, you have a personal banker. Anyway, but if you do, it's good to know those things, insurance policies, retirement, all of that is really, really important to make sure that you're documenting any, again, this is something that's beyond any of us at Burch Law, even me. But if you own other real estate and like oil interests and all of that, look, I'm telling you, as an attorney who's done probate for nearly 20 years, your family doesn't know. They don't know. They also don't know your actual legal name. So document that if you would.
Don't know that.
But they don't know. So if you inherited some sort of oil interest in New Mexico, document that somewhere so they have something to go on to try and figure this out. These are all the messes that we untangle. If there's any business interests, LLCs, pensions, stock sharing, anything like that. Back to pets, we always ask our clients if they have any special instructions for their pets, something that, nobody here at Burch Law likes to hear, but technically from a legal standpoint, pets are just considered personal property. They're just chattel. They aren't living beings.
Love that word.
Chattel. Mm-hmm. So you can, without having to make any sort of specific provisions for them in your will or trust, which we will do if so asked, but you can also leave behind instructions or directions. I also have to say something, because I learned this the hard way. If you're going to designate in your will who's going to take care of your pets, you might want to make sure that those people know that and they're up for it. I had this happen early on in my practice where somebody put that into a will, and I was so naive. I mean, how old are you, Sarah and Sam?
27.
27, 28. I was so naive at 27, 28 when I started my practice that when someone told me, I want this person to get my pets, I just thought maybe they probably asked that person and made those arrangements. When she died, I found out, nope, that was a complete surprise, a complete and utter surprise. Also, location of important paperwork. There's so much stuff that people are going to have to find, whether it's birth certificates, marriage certificates, pre or post marital agreements, divorce decrees, separation agreements, military records, social security card, medical records, tax records, life insurance, stocks, bonds, right? Sarah, you got all your stocks, bonds listed?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Mortgage information, deeds, leases, bank records. I mean, just all of this stuff is really important. Sounds like a total pain in the butt, but guess what? Why don't you do this rather than making your family do it when you've dropped dead? I mean, come on, people, get it together. One thing that someone mentioned to me one time is magazine subscriptions. I'm not really sure that that's a thing anymore, because I can't seem to not have magazine subscriptions. They just like sign you up and then you start getting it, but I'm not paying for it. So I really don't care about it being canceled. But any sort of memberships or things that you have, you're going to list those so people know to cancel them. Gym memberships, my goodness, they'll probably need a death certificate or the actual body to cancel that. And then also special instructions we recommend. Again, when it comes to personal property, So that means something that doesn't have a legal title, like a home, a car, a bank account. You can leave specific, like, where do you want your stuff to go? Your piano, your TV, your Elvis collection, like all of that. Maybe list that out, kind of help a little bit, because the last thing you really should do for most people is list that sort of thing in your will or trust, because the minute you want to change that, add to it, you're going to have to re-execute this document, which is going to take time and money. So this is a great thing. So that's like a big splash overview of a tool that we give to our clients, but through our CYA plan, which stands for what, Sarah?
Cover your assets.
Okay, say it one more time.
Cover your assets.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know.
What are you trying to say? Anyway, that we, through our CYA plan, we do a little bit more hand-holding and accountability, like, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? But yeah, so that's the kind of information. I want to talk about ways to document this and other resources that are out there beyond what we provide to people. But Cynthia has some special information for you when it comes to things like your smartphones and social media and all of that. So Cynthia, take it away.
Ooh. Thank you. So, gonna start off with Amazon bereavement support. They're very nice at the beginning of this. So FYI, whenever you die, everybody has a million accounts to everything, and you need somebody to shut them down or notify the powers that be that, hey, this person is no longer with us. And I appreciate about Amazon is we're very sorry for your loss. When a loved one or a close relative passes away, our support team is here to help. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that easy, but it's fine. It's fine. So reading through this, apparently for Amazon, you need, let me list the number of things that you need in order to go forward and see how, let's see how everybody feels about this. Okay, so you need a copy of the death certificate. Pretty simple, straightforward to obtain. Yes? Okay, cool. In Dallas, that may take...
unless you died under suspicious circumstances.
Yeah, that can take longer, but typically about 3 weeks, I think, about in Dallas County. You need a valid photographic ID for the named authorized person listed on any sort of letters of authorization. So you need a photographic ID. You need an official certified document showing that you are the authorized person to access the account. So, Lori, whenever you see that, what does that make you think?
The authorized person to access an account?
Yeah, you need a copy of the official certified documentation showing that you are authorized person.
Who would have that? Who is that? Who would be that person?
Typically, it's if you've gone through probate for the individual.
Yeah, and like that. That's like the cart before the horse.
Yeah, but again, this is what you need. And then lastly, you need to have.
That's why you should just list your usernames and passwords.
Yeah, one of the other things on here, it is. Let's see, where is it? If you have access to the email address associated with the Amazon account, you can just sign into it and proceed with your request.
There it is. Is that fraud, Sam?
Only if you buy something on it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Sarah, good job. Yeah.
They said that they will ask you, for certain things, but I'm pretty sure they're going to ask you for that list of things I listed. So yeah. Amazon. Wow. Now you know. The more you know.
Now you know.
I was really surprised to actually find bereavement support as an article title for Amazon.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay, so let's move on to Meta, Facebook. What are we calling it? Because whenever you log into it, it says Meta, but all of their help stuff still says Facebook.
So would this be the same for Instagram then? Or like
actually,
YouTube? Well, YouTube's Google.
Well, it's a little different. So hold on. First off, Facebook, it just goes right into it. Like, hey, choosing your legacy contact is currently only available for your main profile. It doesn't apply to any additional Facebook profiles. So I'm assuming that's going to go along the lines of some business stuff, things like that. But, there's a place to start. And then it defines a legacy contact. It's someone you choose to look after your main profile look after your main profile if it's memorialized after you pass away.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wait, memorialized?
If it's memorialized after you pass away. Give me a second on that one, Sarah. We'll get there.
Okay.
What your legacy contact can do, they can write a pinned post from your profile to share a final message on your behalf or provide information about a memorial service.
And can't you turn your Facebook into like a memorial page?
I'm getting there.
Okay, can I just say something right now?
Fine.
Please don't do that
we can
for me.
Stop you.
Shut it down. Do I want people like every year like posting shit there? Like, please don't. I mean, I totally respect people who want that, and really, it should be more about the people who are left behind, whatever they need to do to grieve, heal, memorialize. But if my opinion matters at all, I really don't want that for me. Just name like a street or a planet or a library after me. That'll do.
Can I move on? Okay, great. So another thing your legacy contact can do is update your profile picture and cover photo. I'm sorry, but once you have passed,
again, do not do this.
What? They can request removal of your account. So
yes,
that's what we're doing for Lori.
Please do that.
And then you can download a copy of what you've shared on Facebook if you have this feature turned off. We may add more capabilities for legacy contacts in the future. Okay.
Maybe.
What they can't do is log.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe. Your legacy contact can't, CAN', log into your account, read your messages, remove any of your friends, or make new friend requests.
So now that I would want. I would want like a bunch of friend requests sent out from me. That is what I would want to happen.
Send them out to your worst
enemies. To all my exes or people who've wronged me. I'd say people who don't like me, but there is no such group of people. So that's what I would want. I'll provide a list. Let me add that to the CY organizer.
Okay, so memorialized profiles. I just love the copy for this. Memorialized profiles are a place for friends and family to gather and share memories after a person has passed away. Memorialized profiles have the following key features. Okay. The word remembering will be shown next to the person's name on their profile.
Oh, please don't let this happen to me.
Depending on the privacy settings of the profile, friends can share memories on the memorialized timeline. Okay. Contents the person shared, for example, photos, different posts, stay on Facebook and are visible on Facebook to the audience that it was shared with. So it's not like I can go in and be like, oh no, share everything. Memorialized profiles don't appear on suggestions for people you may know, ads, or birthday reminders. You know what, though? I feel like the people you may know may be a good one. Like, that way you know. Like, you get, like, remembering.
Can I just say, like, if you're going to keep my Facebook going, I want my profile changed to a barbecue pit.
Why?
Because I'm going to be cremated.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Am I the only one who knew that?
I got it, but I wanted confirmation.
Listen, if I can get a list of suggested people and it says remembering next to them so I know they've passed away, I would not be bothered. I would prefer that.
It is so for people who don't do that though, and I don't know if anybody's in this category, but I have many times maxed out on the number of friends that you can have on Facebook. Well, let me do air quotes, friends. It's 5,000, by the way. And so when I need to make space, I am friends with some people who passed away, and I feel very weird about unfriending them. But like, what do you do? And does if they change it to a remembering page, does that count against your friend count?
Listen, I did not
ask no one ever. Deep. Let's move on. Okay, next. Edit for time. Insert commercial here.
So something you can do is you can choose to have your account permanently deleted should you pass away. This means that when someone lets us know that you've passed away, i.e. your legacy contact, all of your messages, photos, posts, comments, reactions, and info will be immediately and permanently removed from Facebook.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I got some good pictures there. But I'm sure Kimberly has all of them. And anything I would post would also be on my phone.
Okay, right? So going on to Instagram, something that Instagram has that Facebook doesn't, we're sorry to hear about your loss, and we're working to make sure your report gets reviewed. Please note that we have fewer people available to review reports because of the coronavirus 19 pandemic, which means it may take us additional time to memorialize or delete the account you requested.
Oh,
we apologize.
Is this still Meta?
I think they forgot that page
Instagram
existed.
is owned by Meta, but we apologize and want to send our condolences for your loss. But yeah, theirs has not been updated in a hot second.
Well, I mean, this one our signing procedures still tell people they can wear a mask.
I mean, they can, though.
It happens, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's another piece. I feel like now more people are open to wearing face masks just in general when they're sick, as opposed to before, which quite frankly, I'm about. Like, I'm sick. I don't want to get my germs everywhere. I'm going to the doctor. I'm sick. Like, I'm wearing a mask.
I feel the opposite. I don't care about spreading my germs now, but I wouldn't mind if people prevent theirs getting to me.
You can also do that by you wearing a mask.
Yeah, fair. Oh, good. You're choking on your bros. Karma.
Oh my God. It's so hard not to.
Is that Cynthia's cup?
No,
you're drinking from? Oh, okay. That's right.
Okay.
All right, what's next, Cynthia? Let's move this along.
Across the desk and stole it.
I don't know.
Okay, but the same thing with Instagram. You can memorialize accounts. So, yay. Okay. Then we're going to move on to TikTok. No, you just can't. No.
Okay.
Everything that I've found is no, you can't.
That's
also,
why
whenever you're trying to
information.
Yeah. Whenever you're trying to research TikTok legacy contact information or things like that, I just need you to know that all that comes up is results for on TikTok on how to create legacy contacts for other platforms. So it was a little misleading every now and then. It's like, oh, hey, nope, that's for Facebook. Nope, that's for your iPhone. Which brings us to the next one for your iPhone. Make sure that on your phone, in your settings, there's a way to set a legacy contact. That is a way that you can have somebody predetermined. It'll have their contact added. It'll have like number, name, email addresses, what have you. Because Apple is very good at locking it down if you've passed. And that way, like other people can't like just get an order to access your phone. So they've been pretty good at making sure like that privacy is kept. So you need to designate a legacy contact, or like Lori says, just make sure your kid has your same face and they can unlock it. Okay. Next we have.
That's true.
Yeah. She's been able to do it before, hasn't she?
I mean, I don't know, but I think when when she gets to adulthood, she's probably going to be able to do that.
So next is how to contact Twitter about a deceased family member's account. I refuse to call it another thing. So for this one is you can request the removal of a deceased account user after you submit a request. So this is very much so like you just have to email them and you have to like go through this process. You're going to need documentation, copy of the death certificate, a copy of your photo ID, information of the deceased. So, good luck with that. And then the other part is incapacitated users. So there is a whole process to remove the account of an incapacitated user. Now, how do I put this delicately? It does not define what an incapacitated user is or how to determine that. So
it's fine.
I'm just saying we're not sure what that means.
Okay.
But you can do it. And then one that I know Lori's going to roll her eyes about. I know there's a lot of people out there who have Steam accounts, who have other digital gaming acquisition accounts. Just go with it. It'll matter to somebody.
Me.
Steam, as of right now, they do not have a way to set up any kind of legacy contacts. They don't have any way to transfer games on your account to other profiles whenever you pass away. So, good luck with that. However, there are other places like if you use GOG, if you use, I forget the name of the other one, Humble Bundle, things like that. You get the actual token, so you own it. So that way you have it and you can pass it on. So this is something that was actually a pretty big deal a couple months ago with Steam. But as of right now, I can't find anything to where they've said that they've updated that policy or that they're working on it. However, something interesting, I did find a post from several years ago where they're talking about that Valve, which is the owner of Steam, has implied that in the unlikely event of their collapse, they'll unlock the content for everybody.
What the hell is Steam?
The game hub.
It's essentially, think of it as a place where, like, how Amazon, you buy a lot of movies digitally?
Yeah.
A lot of people do. Okay, it's essentially for games though, but games cost a lot more than movies. So brand new releases, like people drop $60 plus on things. If you're somebody that's into MMOs, that's something that you can also do through Steam. So essentially, a lot of people have sunk a ton of money into this, and they're like, well, what happens whenever I die? So hopefully they go with the unlocking content.
I'm surprised they don't have something.
I'm not surprised.
Steam, but
yeah,
are you kidding me?
You can spend so much money there, like it's kind of bonkers.
And like the same with EA, and there's like so many other things. Well, Origin is the app. Origin is now no longer. It's now just EA games.
I didn't know that. I haven't played Sims in a hot minute. So.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
Will
matter to somebody, Lori. I promise you it will.
All right. Good.
I like how Sarah's just like bouncing to herself, like going to the beat of her own drum.
That is excellent information. Thank you, Cynthia. Does that conclude your presentation?
I mean, it's going to now. Damn.
Okay. All right. My biggest thing, I don't feel this way so much anymore, but I remember when Adley, my firstborn, the first few months, year of her life, I did have to tell Kimberly, like, if something happens to me, I need you to delete my search history because people will think I have no idea how to take care of a baby. So many things that I would Google.
Did you? At the very beginning?
Like, are they supposed to do this? What do you do in this situation? It's like, I really, really need my search history deleted because people would be very concerned. Don't tell CPS the things that I ask. But okay, good. So in collecting all this information and gathering all this information, there's a lot of different resources that are available. None of them are sponsors. of this podcast, but they could be.
Hey,
anyway, one online source that I'm personally a member of, and we've talked to them about offering to clients, which we haven't yet, and I'm going to explain why. It's super, super cool. They're always upgrading it. It's called trustworthy.com. And it's a place where it's like this digital vault where you can upload everything, from passports to driver's license to all this stuff. Go back, rewind this 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know, 4 hours. How long have we been talking? And all that stuff in the CYA organizer and so much more. I think it's really cool conceptually, and I do think that if you're up for it, do it. One of the reasons that we haven't officially offered this to clients and introduced it is because I myself, in the 2 years that I've been a member, have not completely uploaded all this stuff. And if I'm not going to do it, then I know that 99.999% of people are not going to do it. So I'm still kind of toying with that, but I do want to make people aware that things like that are out there. And then I know there's other sites. I think this one is super cool. Like, it really does have a lot of stuff. And then there's all these ways that you could notify people to have access to it and all of that. And then there's a couple planners that I've seen that collect a lot of this information and more. Like some of my favorites, is this one. You can get it on Amazon, not a sponsor, or other places. Sorry, it's your problem now because I'm dead. There's another one. I'm dead. Now what? It's not bad. It's not bad. And then, we're about to have a sequel come out of a classic movie from my childhood. And this isn't as much for people who have passed, but for the people who've passed on, the Handbook for the Recently Deceased. And I've actually thought about, should we do a handbook for the family of recently deceased? But anyway, lots of stuff out there, lots of resources. I think the biggest thing, and it's the number one thing that we encounter just doing this planning in the first place, is people have to do it. People have to fill it out. People have to complete it. And then, they got to keep it updated. But, I think as much of this, maybe not 100% of it, but as much as you can put together and collect, you're going to make things so much easier for your family and loved ones. Not if, but when time comes. So really want to encourage everybody to look at those resources. Before we get to the ridiculousness of the Sam and Sarah segment, which I haven't really looked at their notes, so I really don't know what's coming. Any other thoughts that are actually more relevant to the topic, or are we good? You're going to have to edit out your dramatic pause.
That was Sarah breathing into the mic heavily.
I think this was good.
Okay. So then with that said, Sam and Sarah, what do you have planned for us? I'm not looking at the list. I don't know what's about to happen.
So it's a list of things you need to do after you have passed on.
Oh.
Yeah.
That you have to do once you've passed on, but you're passed on.
You or others. You'll see.
Them. So,
okay. All right. Let's just rapid fire. Yeah. Let's do this.
Okay. So you need to have somebody delete your socials.
Or memorialize them.
Yeah. You need to have you need to plan your funeral before you die. And my sister has done that. She has the playlist. She has how her body is going to be presented. It's not what you would think. She wants to fly through the room. This isn't a joke, by the way. She wants to fly through the room. She wants to, she has a who does what.
No, back up.
Like in a cannon?
This isn't, like a canon style. Like, she wants to be flung
like
into the
body?
room. Yes. This isn't a joke. She has told me this many times.
That.
All right.
She has playlists, who's doing what, everything. Just plan it. Makes everything so much easier. I actually don't remember what my title is in her funeral, but anyways.
You have one.
Yeah, I do have one. So plan it.
Okay. All right.
Have someone erase all evidence of that secret box that you have.
I like this one just because it's fun. You need to add a fun tombstone message, like "I told you I was sick" or something like that, so you can have fun beyond the grave.
If you're being
there's wait. I have to tell you a story. So when I was single and my sister was single, I have 5 million brothers, but only one sister. And my mom, my sister, and I would go on girls' trips, and they were usually road trips. And I hope my sister's not mad at me, but I'm certain she doesn't listen to our podcast, so I'm not worried about it. But she used to smoke. She doesn't smoke anymore. But because of that, my mom would always make her sit in the back seat. And when we'd stop for a break, and if she had to smoke, my mom make her run around the car to kind of air out before she could get in the back. But anyway, I don't know how other people road trip, but we would always do a lot of snacks. And so my sister would keep all the snacks in the back. And she would say this, she started saying this, there's still food left. And hey, anybody want a snack? There's still food left. So we started joking that that's what's going to be on her tombstone. There's still food left.
I like that.
I have not thought about that in probably 10 years until you brought that up. Make this an outtake, Sarah, because I want to share it with her.
Okay, the next one. If you're being buried, pick a plot by some nice flowers or like on a hill so you have a view.
I think the cemetery is going to be in charge of that, but all right.
Yeah. Well, you can like buy plots, right? Like in a specific. You just gotta plan.
You know what? For the sake of moving on, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you're beyond, we think it would be fun if you dress up on Halloween. We obviously recommend as a ghost. Sorry, cowboy ghost. Misread that.
Hold on.
Cowboy raccoon ghost for Sarah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're telling me that once I am no longer with us, I need to dress up as a ghost for Halloween.
You still gotta celebrate Halloween. It's a fun time.
I feel like there's some more conspiracy theories we need to explore here, but keep going.
It's about to get worse. Learn some fun ghost tricks like slamming doors, slamming cabinets, knocking things off the table, flickering some lights, you know.
If I were a ghost, I think I'd do something so much more subtle than that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd take, let's say, a couch and move it an inch every day.
That's what Luke does in real life.
And just see how long it takes.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that one.
That's so funny. This one's obvious, but avoid. Sorry, they just get worse and worse. This one, just avoid the Ghostbusters.
If you're a ghost,
you're a ghost,
them.
Brilliant. Thank you. Can't believe I employ these people. Everybody.
Be annoying enough as a ghost so that Zach Baggins of Ghost Adventures fame wants to try capture evidence that you are in fact a ghost.
I'm sorry, who?
Zach Baggins.
Who is that?
Baggin what?
There's a ghost show called Ghost Adventures, which has gone for many years. I don't know. I think it's like on Sci-Fi or something. And they go around to like famous haunted places and try to get evidence. He has a whole in Las Vegas. He has like a haunted attraction that has like things. I don't think he has the Annabelle doll, but like stuff like that, like famous.
I don't want to go on a whole tangent, so this might have to be something that we do a future episode about. But I wouldn't mind talking a little bit about ghost tours that you can take in certain locations.
Okay, see, that's fun.
And all I'm going to say right now is, in case we don't do a subsequent episode on this, if you're ever in Key West, make sure you take a ghost tour and find out about Robert the Doll, the origins of the movie Child's Play.
I think for Halloween, we should do a portable podcast and we go through a haunted house.
No, thank you.
Oh, intriguing. Okay.
I think
let's put a pin on that. Pin in that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next.
So don't forget to haunt all of your favorite people regularly so they cannot forget about you, but also do not forget to haunt all of your sworn enemies so they also cannot forget about you and have to sleep with an eye open.
So, like, quick question. Yeah. When you say don't forget to haunt your favorite people,
yeah,
like, what am I doing to, like, you versus someone I don't like?
I feel like you'd be more, like, aggressive to the people you don't like, right? Like, smashing more of their stuff.
To people you like, you're moving the couch an inch.
Right. Sarah, do I not go into your office as is and just lightly knock things off your desk? It's the same.
Right. See, but it's lightly. Yeah. It's not aggressive.
No. People you like, you're walking by them and, like, tossing their hair. People you don't like, you cut their brakes.
Or that.
Sarah, I'm going to move everything in your place if I die first.
Please edit that out. I can't believe I said that.
Was so good.
This is what happens when we record on Fridays instead of the usual Wednesdays.
We're in a silly, goofy mood. Okay, and the last one, and I put this last because I know you're going to have questions. Cremate yourself so you're not a mindless body or skeleton in the skeleton war.
In the skeleton what?
The skeleton war.
Is there going to be a war?
Technically, it's ongoing.
Hold on, I heard the skeleton ward.
Ward,
but no war. No, yeah. I got it.
Is this like in an alternate dimension?
No, this is here on Earth.
Is this like an anti-body snatchers, like revivification?
It started on Tumblr voodoo, in 2014. Originally, it was just so that way you could find like fun Halloween skeleton gifts. It was just an easy way to do it, but now it's got its own lore. Like people will take pictures of like skeletons during Halloween, like the fake ones, and be like on their way to battle for the skeleton war, and and then so that way if your body gets reanimated, you're not part of the skeleton wars.
I've never heard of this.
Reanimated?
Yeah, like if you're in the ground in a coffin.
You're kind of under there. Have y'all ever had to dig your way out of something?
Listen, it's not like they've got like flesh.
Literally?
They don't have nerves.
I'd like to dig myself out of this podcast episode right now.
Hold on. Actually, everybody on this podcast has had to dig themselves out of something. Looking at you two, Sarah, Sam.
Again, I don't know if you mean figuratively or literally.
Both.
Literally, like no. If someone buries you, like
shoved us in a hole because
like at the beach, and they bury you in sand.
Yeah,
should do that to us. I can see it.
All right, I'm still gonna say no.
It's not that easy to get yourself out.
Yeah. That was that list.
Listen, I can take Sam out with a weighted blanket.
You really be honest. Not even a weighted one. Just give me a fluffy one, and I'm good. I'm stuck.
Okay, great. Is there anything else that you all have to add? What, Sarah?
Oh, she's mute.
You're muted.
How did I get muted? That was it.
Great. So those are a lot of things for you all to think about to prepare your family and loved ones for an easy transition, and then I suppose maybe potentially some tips for yourself when you have made it to the great beyond. Thanks for listening. And just to cover all our bases about what you just heard, I'm sorry and you're welcome. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode, and tell your friends about us. We do webinars and live events. The best way to stay up to date is to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Links are in the show notes. If there's a topic you'd like us to cover, maybe you have a question you'd like us to answer, or maybe you just want to say hi, hit the link in the show notes or go to burch-law.com/podcast and fill out the contact form.
Much better.
Yeah, I thought that had a lot of energy.